Have you ever had a friend or known someone who's like a social chameleon? The kind of person who can slide right into any conversation. The kind of person who can read the room and make friends easily. Have you ever had a friend or known someone with tons of charisma, passion, and wit? Someone who can slide in and out of conversations at will. These are the kinds of people we naturally want to follow. They're the kind of people who we think have it all together. The kind of person who seems like they have no shortage of friendships and connections. It's easy to look at witty, charming, social chameleons and envy them. But I wonder if there's more to the story than meets the eye. I wonder if there's more to these people than we can see on the outside. Have you ever had a friend or known someone that's willing to change what they believe, willing to change how they talk or act depending on the group that they're currently with? Have you ever had a friend who seems to share your values, your passions, your interests, only to find out they never actually did in the first place? To me, these are some of the most frustrating people who are inconsistent. I have such a hard time when other people's personalities, their interests, their communication style changes depending on who they're around. Now, it wasn't very long ago that I was thinking about the difference between an enviable social chameleon and an inconsistent faker. And I was thinking about where to draw the line between these types of people and what about our culture makes it so easy for these people to exist. Then I realized I'm one of those people. I was spending all this time getting worked up at other people's inconsistency and seeming lack of integrity when I realized I do the same thing all the time. It's so easy for me to melt from one conversation to the next, nodding my head and telling people what I think they want to hear. It's so easy for me to keep a controversial opinion or important belief to myself because I don't want to tick anybody off. Now, maybe you can relate to me. Maybe it's frustrating for you to see the inconsistency in other people's lives, but it's even more frustrating to see it in the mirror. To me, all of this begs the question, how can you and I make the shift from inconsistent social chameleons, willing to change at a moment's notice, to faithful, resilient followers of Jesus who stay true no matter what? For me, it's helpful to focus and meditate on the example of Jesus. Jesus was faithful. He was resilient. His character, his actions, and his words were consistent no matter the situation. Even during the crucifixion, Jesus was able to say in Mark 23:34, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Jesus was so focused on God. Jesus was so committed to doing the Father's work that he had no interest in anything else. Even in his darkest, most painful moment, he was able to stay true to what God had called him to do. If you're like me, and you can have a hard time drawing the line between inconsistency and social prowess, maybe it's time to start focusing on Jesus' example of integrity, love, and grace.